Namaste, welcome, dear friends. Today's class is on Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. This class we call is the Whisper of Shiva. So we will learn why this is called the Whisper of Shiva, and we are going to understand Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, a beautiful book for self-realization. I have also been practicing this book for a while. It's a amazing book. We'll understand how this book can help us, how this book is, created 5,000 years back to help us understand our real nature. Um, and we have very interesting exercises today, which I have taken from Vigyan Bhairava Tantra and out of that 112 meditations. So we are going to have a few um, sessions that will help us in our daily life. And then at the end, we will do some sharing, right? So that is a quick overview of what we are doing today. If everybody can hear me and see me clearly, if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be great. I see many friends joining. Welcome. I see Amrita. There is two Amritas here today, Amrita Datta, Amrita Agarwal. Thank you for joining. And I see Aditya Pruti. Wonderful. Welcome. I see Sajya. Sajja Shiv Kumar ji. Okay, wonderful. And many other friends are joining. Many others are watching it online on YouTube, and you know, people might watch it later. So our intention is to understand this science, this 5,000 years old science. First, let me decode what this word means. Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. What is Vigyan? Friends, Vigyan does not mean ordinary knowledge. Vigyan does not mean intellectual knowledge. In Sanskrit, V means beyond, V means deeper, and Jnana or Jnana, you know how we understand it, means knowledge or knowing. So Vigyan means direct experiential knowledge, or you can say the inner science of consciousness. That is Vigyan, right? So it is a knowledge gained through experience, friends, not belief, not studying, not philosophy, no theory, but something you directly realize within yourself. It is called Vigyan, right? Vigyan, we generally think it's science. Actually, Vigyan word is much deeper. Direct experiential knowing. That is the first word, Vigyan. Okay. And then we understand Bhairav. It sounds a very beautiful word. Bhairav, actually, it's the fierce roop of Shiva, fierce. Bhairav actually means Bhai is fear, Rava is removal of fear. Bhairava, Bhai Rava means that which destroys fear. So not fearlessness through control, but fear dissolving through when we dissolve this separation, when we have this belief that we are separated from the universe, we are separated from the divine, right? So we dissolve the fear through understanding that we are with the divine, right? So that's first Vigyan, that means direct experiential knowledge. Then Bhairava means the dissolution of fear, removal of fear. Okay. Tantra, often misunderstood, very interesting word. We think Tantra is related to sexuality. No, the root meaning of Tantra is a system, it's a technology, it's a method, it is a way to expand consciousness. Tan means expand, Tra means tool. So it's a practical method of expansion of consciousness, friends. Right? So what does Vigyan Bhairava Tantra means? Vigyan, we know direct knowing, experiential knowledge, not philosophy, not learning from others, experiential knowledge. Bhairava, removal of the fear, Tantra, through techniques. So basically, it means the experiential method for realizing the infinite awareness. There's been 112 doorways to experience the divine directly. The 112 techniques are given. They're very beautiful. Through breath technique are there, sound technique is there, fear technique is there, love technique is there, silence, everyday moment to moment technique is there. So friends, Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, we say, is the science of transforming ordinary human consciousness into doorway to the extraordinary. Okay, friends. So I have made few notes. So it's good that I read from the note. Here, see, this is a text, very, very old, 5,000 years old text. It says probably more than that. We don't know. But this text has been interpreted by many great masters, right? And I feel there are many masters that have interpreted it in a energetic way, so their language is difficult to understand, right? But here we are taking the example of uh, the great master Osho, because he has interpreted it in a way that common person like me, others who are like, not expert with very deep processes, like, these processes, I think we need like a teacher with us all the time if we have to do some energetic process, right? So guidance is required. Not a letter to hear you, Aditya ji. Is everybody able to hear me? Sound is fine, friends? Just say a yes. Okay. Aditya, sound is fine. Thank you. So it is called the Book of Secrets, where the great master Osho has decoded this from a more of a psychological perspective, not from the energetic one, not like from a place of intense exercises. And so I found this version very easy, and the Book of Secret offers this scientific radical approach how to transcend the human consciousness. So, friends, very interestingly, how this book starts is very interesting. Unlike academics, like how generally a book starts, the origin. This book, like I said, 5,000 years old, starts from love language. So what is happening is Devi, which is Mother Parvati, and Shiva, Lord Shiva, they are having this intimate love experience. They're in an intimacy, right? And then at that moment, the mother, because she's also a disciple, it's also a guru and disciple relationship between Shiva and Parvati. Okay. So the disciple, which is the mother, she asks Shiva that, my children are suffering on earth, so much pain on earth. Why don't you do something? So this is a very intimate moment, and she knows that this moment, Lord is with me completely. He cannot just close his eyes and he cannot say no. He will answer, because otherwise Shiva never speaks, right? It's always in meditation. It says it takes thousands years to open his eyes once. Right? So now, why this understanding is important for us, because getting this knowledge requires a feminine receptivity. You understand this? A feminine receptivity, right? If you're having this knowledge from a masculine or intellectual perspective, this will not happen. And that's the reason Lord Shiva is, he's a great master, so he will not give direct answer. What he gave is techniques. So it's called, Osho calls this atomic formula, 112 meditations. He says that it is an exhaustive science of transformation. He says 112 techniques which are there cannot be a 113th technique. Even the, uh, Lord Buddha, the practice of anapanasati meditation is derived from this. So if you, whatever you practices you do, you cannot form a technique which is beyond this 112 technique. It has to be one of them. So many people, they have taken this technique into the West, other countries, they have modified it. But you cannot go beyond this 112 technique. It has to be one of them. It's very interesting, right? So Osho asserts that it is impossible to add a single new method to it. Right? And another very interesting, friends, this method, he says, will fit every personality. So it's very interesting if you can read the book and play with the techniques. Just 3 days, one technique, you play with it 3 days playfully and see if it fits you. If it doesn't, you throw that, you go to the next one. One technique you will find that will fit your personality. And this, this expansive method of techniques has also not left sex, even sex method. While ordinary sexual experience are often peak, that ends in release, in the drop of energy, the like during, when a couple is there together, they are running towards that orgasm. But here there are techniques that talks about valley orgasm. It's a meditative approach, a deep relaxation process to remain at the beginning of this experience and to watch it. Even through this practice, many have attained enlightenment through valley orgasm. Sexual transmutation comes from here. This, there is a technique, right? And friends, this technique is about breaking the inner robot. Like, we have become like biological computers, and we are continuously, unconsciously in our habits mechanically. So this book says to break this pattern, there is something called a stop technique, which I will be speaking about, and we'll do a short exercise on it. Okay. So what it does is, suddenly you are doing something. For example, I'm picking this glass, and I in my mind I say stop, and I freeze. And when I freeze in this sudden gap, and when I say I freeze mentally, emotionally, everywhere I freeze. It's not that my mind is thinking, oh, I'm holding a grass, this is cold, nothing. I'm just freezed in that moment. I'm like a watcher. And in that moment, this can separate my inner consciousness from my body movement. There can be a separation that we can feel. And that's what we all are interested in learning, during meditation, right? Because also, there are imagination technique that you imagine, your imagination becomes your potent factor about yourself. For example, you visualize a shower of light from the top of your head to the experience. We know these, if you are doing some kind of practices, we have different kinds of method, right? So one method or the other, friends, this is derived from this. So friends, why so I would like to also bring into notice why we are interested in learning about meditation. Why is it so important? So the first thing, friends, is when we meditate, first of all, many people, they start meditation because they're in misery, they're in pain, right? So they start to meditate because they want to release the pain, they want to come over the misery. But the beautiful thing happens when we start meditating, we understand that this pain is an illusion. It is coming from an ignorance, isn't it? So The what is meditation? The meditation is to release this ignorance and fill us with the divine intelligence, the divine knowledge, the right intellect. Intellect also can get impurified, right? Whatever we are doing, friends, we are doing this technique, we are doing that thing. So many techniques have come, so many beautiful work has come. Inner child work is there, past life regression work is there, um, you know, many things, somatic techniques, sound healing techniques, everything so beautiful. But if the intellect is not purified, we can, with that impure intellect, whatever we are doing, whatever you are putting that, no technique will work if we don't purify this intellect, call it sadbuddhi, right? Intellect. So important is the practice of meditation because that connects us to the divine. So the first thing is why we want to meditate is, I feel, is to get that right wisdom, is to understand that there is, you know, ignorance. The dispeller of darkness is meditation. We get the true light when we meditate, right? So, friends, it is about accessing the inner peace in daily life. We, the constant connected with the cosmic bliss, the constant connection of the awareness. Okay, again, I'm getting diverted from the divine. I am going somewhere else, my mind is running, let me bring myself back, let me bring myself back. That's the everyday practice. That's how, by bringing this total presence to simple acts like walking, touching an object, mundane life, we can apply these things and we can carry this bliss in our everyday life, right? And another thing why we want to why this knowledge is important, because we have to learn alchemy. What is alchemy? Turning poison into nectar. That is the second word, Bhairava. Turning fear into what? Love, for example. Turning anger into compassion. Turning sexual energy into bliss, into silence, into deeper understanding. Sadness or fear, we can transform sadness or fear into light, right? So the alchemy of transformation, that's why we meditate. We This is so important. And the third thing is attaining of no mind state, the true self discovery. The technique serves as a doorway of no mind state. So much of us, we are like mechanical robot. We are thinking processes, always we are the doer. We are not becoming. So by focusing on the, for example, the first method it talks about is the gap between the breath. So when we do that, when we are focusing on the gap between the breath, it can break this cycle of continuous thought and it takes us into our true nature. So friends, true nature, we need to connect to our authentic nature. Our authentic nature is not like thinking, doing all the time, right? So this is so important. Why Vigyan Bhairava Tantra is such a beautiful text. So friends, I will be doing a small exercise for you to, uh, connect to this book, because you can go through this book and this, there are many sutras. Even we have a meditation cycle, I mean small circle. We are practicing one sutra every week. You are most welcome to join that. But here, let us I will I will teach you one of the sutras that will help you to, this is best for stress, overthinking, anxiety, overwhelming feeling is this. So this will do just for 2 minutes, and later, as I said, this is very interesting for experimenting, right? So let's experiment. I'm going to put a nice music. Just sit, relax, take 2 3 deep breaths, and close your eyes, friends. So let's go into this small meditation. So sit comfortably and notice your normal natural breath. No need to change it. If it's very deep, let it be deep. If it's shallow, let it be shallow. Just notice the normal natural breathing. And as you inhale, notice the tiny pause before the exhale begins. And as you exhale, notice the tiny pause before the inhale returns. Just make sure you are not forcing this gap. Just simply, playfully, you are noticing this. So for this very brief moment, it is like very tiny, maybe fraction, maybe 10 times of a second. Nothing is happening in this gap. There is no doing, there's no becoming. Just see if you can rest there in these tiny gaps. Like as you inhale, there is small gap, and then you exhale. And after you exhale, there is a small gap, and you inhale. See if you can notice this very tiny gap when the breath is not moving. Just try to rest there. Just put your attention, friends, on this tiny pause. This beautiful meditation can help you with emotional overwhelm, racing thought, nervous system fatigue. Lord Shiva says peace is already there, hidden in the space between two breaths. Just see playfully if you can find this tiny pause. It's okay if you cannot find it. Just try gently. one more minute. Okay, friends, whenever you are ready, you can gently come back. You can slowly come back and open your eyes. And in the chat box, just let me know if you are able to see this tiny pause. How many of you could see this tiny pause? If you cannot, it's fine. Sometimes it takes a little practice, but if you can, just write it. Yeah, okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, you can write in the main chat, yes, or, So, friends, this practice, we can take it uh, in our daily lives also. Okay. Some Sanjay ji is saying not every time. Okay, sometimes you're missing. That's fine, but at least you could do it sometime. I'm feeling very peaceful. Wonderful. Okay, excellent. So, friends, this technique is very simple. It's the first technique of Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, and I was saying even Buddha derived his meditation anapanasati. He said, watch the breath, incoming and outgoing. Though he's not specifying on the pause of the breath because he thought people might get complicated. If he talks too much about the pause and something, he just said gently watch the breath. So he said half of it. But what happens if you practice anapanasati meditation, that's just watching the breath, you will realize there is a pause also. You will realize everything. If you practice one technique, you realize everything, right? So interesting, friends. This 112 meditation technique of this Bhairava Tantra, it has a exhaustive, complete science of mind transformation, right? And the beauty about it is, it is not philosophy. These are techniques, experiential. There's no religion in this. There's no like saying, you have to be like a Hindu or a, Christian or anything. It's technique. You use it, you experience it. You use it, you know it. So these methods are designed to cater to every possible human psychological type, any psychological type, any whatever belief system you have, using these immediate realities like the breath, sound, and even a sneeze. Sometimes, there are beautiful, I will be talking about that. Sneeze can be a doorway to eternal now. So, if you start reading the book, it will have the first nine techniques, Sutra 1 to Sutra 9. The first nine techniques focuses on natural rhythm of breathing as the ultimate bridge between the physical body and the soul. That is what happens. So when we are with the breath serves as a bridge between the physical and the divine. Okay, so how do I go to the divine? You catch the breath. So the key focus, the first is the microcosmic gap or the pause between the inhale and exhalation. That is the first, we have done. And the second sutra is a little, like a extension of this. It says to look at the turning point between the curves. So it's not saying look at the gap. Some people can't look at the gap. So you see the turning point. So inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale. It's like a turning point. So these curves, and you maintain the awareness when the breath stops naturally. So sometimes when you are putting this awareness on this, sometimes what happens, your breath will start slowing down, and somewhere there is a pause, and this can serve as a portal for your mind to flip from this mundane thought into the divine. This flip, this is important, right? So these are the first 1 to 9 techniques. Then the sutra 10 to 14th, it is about attentiveness on daily activities. How it is like these methods move meditation from a sitting practice into the marketplace of daily life, requiring 100% presence in simple acts. So you see the Zen methods, they are devised from this second. There are some monasteries of Zen monastery, they are inside the fish market. When there is maximum sound, people are talking, but what the Zen monks they practice is to be aware. In that noise, you are aware. So the key focus is being in total awareness. If you are walking, you are totally aware. If you are eating, you are totally aware. If you're touching an object, remaining alert at that moment, right? And even when you're falling asleep, getting into the dream state, can you be aware? So right now, friends, I invite you, any object that is lying beside you, it can be a cup, it can be whatever, just hold that object. Just hold that object. And this is a very good example. If if you are trying to come over boredom, you want to have relationship healing, mindfulness practice, gratitude practice, very, very good practice. We'll do it for 2 minutes. Take the object, a pen and a cup, and just look at this object as if you have never seen this before, right? So when I'm looking at it, I will not say, oh, this is a coffee mug, or this is this in color, the texture is, oh, is smooth, the shape is this. No, just see the object without any labels. And also notice how quickly the mind wants to name it, the mind wants to get distracted. Notice that also. And when you notice that, gently again return to seeing it freshly, innocently. Like, the child looks at the world for the first time. Can I look at it like that? Mindfulness, friend. This is the practice of mindfulness, right? Mind knows. The mind is always knowing. This is that. We can't see a flower also. We say, oh, this is a rose flower, or this has so and so smell. This flower was, I had this flower. So we have a story about the flower. The mind knows, but the awareness sees, true seeing, right, friends? So this is the practice you will find in Vigyan Bhairava Tantra from Sutra 10 to 14. Many kind of techniques are given just to focus, right? This is one practice. We did it playfully, to understand, and you can playfully try it also later, right? Seeing without labeling. Practice that, friends. Yeah, seeing wife without labeling, seeing the husband without labeling. Very, very hard. right? Seeing something without labeling. Can I just be present? That's the practice. And then you will find Sutra 15 to 26. It's on centering and the spine. This group focus on finding the inner root, right? And relaxing the nervous system to achieve the state of embodied existence. So there are practices in this, for example, centering on the third eye, the pineal gland, moving awareness to the spine, the silver cord, achieving states of weightlessness, of becoming, stone like, and, closing all the senses. So these are practices which are given. Sutra 15 to 26. It's about spine. And so it's more of, nervous system regulation when we see these exercises. So long back, friends, I when I was reading this book, I was playfully practicing this. One technique for 3 days. I was playing with these techniques, and it's very interesting. Like a game. Yeah, I was involved in my play every day. Okay, let me see if I can do it. Okay, so and then we have Sutra 27 to 33. So I'm talking about all these 112. I'm just squeezing that so that you understand. So this 20 Sutra 27 to 33 is about stop techniques. These are designed to create sudden jump out of the mechanical habit of the inner robot through shock of awareness. Sudden commands, stop while in movement. So, for example, you're grabbing your phone to see something, right? You say stop. Internally, you say stop. And you come from this, it's a habit, right? Taking the phone, looking at it and opening, say stop. So in that moment, you are in the witnessing state. You have past event as if, like a habit, friends. You're breaking the identification with this habit, observing your moods without projecting what's happening to you. So let us do this quick practice, a very very interesting stops, right? And a stop technique, and it is called, it is best for anger, emotional reactivity, compulsive thinking. It will help you, right? So let us try something unusual for the first few seconds. Let's see if you can move your body slightly, maybe adjust your posture or your hand, just move a little bit, friends, wherever you are, right? And as you're moving your body, suddenly you just say stop, and you freeze. No movement, and just become aware. What is happening inside? Observe your thoughts, emotion, tension. Simply witness, no judgment. Just watch what's happening. Just observe how maybe there is a heat in the body is cold, the thoughts are racing. Just observe. Okay, friends, now you can come back from your freezing. It's like a statue. Like, as a child, we used to play like the statue, a statue, like, oh, gee, wherever you are, you just freeze. So, friends, this practice is excellent for conflicts, anger, emotional spirals, compulsive reactions, compulsive thinking. So what we did is, when we are in a gentle movement and we just say stop, the unconscious mind briefly becomes visible. That is what we are trying to see. What is happening beyond the scene? What is happening at the background? And if we can do this practice, if we can, if somebody like, oh, yeah, good, good, I will practice the stop technique. What will happen is, before you are angry to someone, you can actually apply this stop. You will be so aware, you will see the anger coming. Yeah, just for a moment, can you think of those instances when you can apply stop? Yes, friends, we all have those instances in our life when we can say stop, right? So very beautiful techniques, stop techniques, you'll find from Sutra 27 to 33, right? And then there are techniques like visualization techniques from Sutra 34 to 40. These techniques, they use the eyes, and especially the third eye, which is not in the body, not a physical part of the body. And actually when we project our attention to the third eye, friends, what happens is, it suddenly, our consciousness jumps directly to the inner consciousness. It's a technique many masters have described. So starting into the limitless blue sky or a deep well, and looking at the object or people as if they are the first time, right? So it has these kind of techniques, like you are looking at the limitless blue sky, or you are looking at a deep well, and from the perspective of being fresh and innocent. Fresh eyesight, we have to change our eyesight, friends. It is so habitual, the eyesight. We are seeing the, oh, never see the nature also. We are seeing, I know this is that tree. I know this is that bird, this is that animal. We don't see it from a fresh perspective, right? So this is the sutras that you will find on visualization, and then you'll find sutras on sound and mantra. Sutra 41 to 51, 52, right? Since the mind is essentially a process of internalized words and sound, always there is sound happening in us, right? These methods use sound as the passage of soundlessness, no mind. So, for example, there are methods where you are repeating the sound of Om, and sometimes you are listening to the sound of sound. Sound of sound. Have you anybody experienced sound of sound, friends? Like when you close the ears, do you feel a sound? Can anybody say it in the chat box? Do you experience that? Yeah. Sound of sound, friends. Sound of silence. Actually, we can also call it the sound of silence. There is a sound in the silence also. Yes, Amrita, sound of silence, right? So these techniques are based on that. And then, friends, another, like, taboo subject, this is as to these are techniques on senses, like sexuality and joy. This you'll find from Sutra 53 to 61. Unlike many religion, this tantra, and especially the teachings 5,000 years ago, teachings by Lord Shiva, he tells us to focus on the sensory, like sensual pleasures, biological energy as the doorway to the divine. That can be also used to the doorway of the divine. So finding meditation in the sexual act through relaxation is called valley orgasm, where we are not chasing orgasm. but we are just staying there. It's like a valley. It's not like you're shooting it up, right? That can also become a doorway to connect to the divine. It can also launch you there, right? So beautiful, friends. So many types. You see, so many types of uh, beautiful work is given in this book, and then there are sutras from 68 to 71, which focused on extreme states of awareness, like biological shocks. Like you are starting to sneeze and you become aware that moment. Intense fright, you have anxiety. Can you become aware before it starts? Right? So it's sometimes difficult, to do this, but it can also become like a practice, a doorway to the extreme. Can you become aware? And then, friends, you have these other techniques to from Sutra 72 to 112. The final group of techniques use abstract visualization of energy and philosophy of shunyata, nothingness, to reach the absolute. So basically, you are visualizing light ray rising through your vertebrae, dissolving into the darkness and perceiving the body as a limitless empty space. So, friends, the great master Osho suggests playing with these techniques for 3 days. Every technique you can just read and just play around with it for 3 days and see, if any technique will click, it will bring a sense of well-being. That is the key for your specific personality. That is the key. You can keep practicing that technique for the next 3 months, and you'll find a leap. You'll find a leap in your consciousness, in your wisdom, in your intuition, in your guidance, inner guidance. You will be able to hear. You don't have to look for guidance from some guru, from somebody outside. You have your inner guidance, friends. This is the doorway. Okay, friends. So right now, I have extracted another guided. We will go into a short meditation, maybe 7 to 10 minutes. And here we are using this technique to watch, which is most commonly experienced by people, which is watching anxiety instead of becoming it, right? So we'll go through it. If you don't face anxiety, you can take anything, that you want to focus on, right? But here I will be mentioning anxiety. It could be anything that you are struggling with. You can focus on that. Okay, so I will help you with this. Uh, so this technique we will practice now. I'd like you to take a comfortable posture, friends. Take the time to just sit relaxed. You can cross your legs, cross your hands. If you're sitting on a chair, you can take a back rest wherever you are, right? Don't lie down because you'll sleep off. So sit, okay? Take your time. So this technique, watching anxiety instead of becoming it, this technique is inspired by witnessing the spirit in the Vigyan Bhairava, in the spirit of Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. So, friends, we do not try to fix anxiety. Okay, so the first thing is we understand we do not try to fix anxiety. We are not trying to fix anything here. Okay, we are not trying to push it away. We are not even trying to calm ourselves. Uh, just for a few moments, we will simply become curious. That's all. Curious about what anxiety actually is. So I invite you to sit comfortably. You do not need a perfect posture. Your spine can be as straight as possible. Let your body soften. Uh, Gently close your eyes, cross your hands, cross your legs, and you are resting gently. Just sit very, very comfortably, friends. Just take slow breaths. You are taking a gentle breath in and you're slowly breathing it out. So basically, you are using your normal, natural breathing. So nothing to change in this breathing. If the breathing is deep and long, let it be deep and long. If it's shallow breathing, let it be shallow. In this meditation, we are not trying to achieve anything. It's just arriving wherever we are there. Just begin by noticing the simple fact that you are here. So watch that your breath is moving and then your body is sitting and breath is happening. And also see what else you can witness. You're sitting, your breath is happening. What else? The sound is happening. Maybe you're listening to my voice. Sometimes you listen to the music. Sometimes you hear the sound wherever you are. And sometimes you might also hear the internal sound, which is the sound of the silence. So just watch, just be aware what all you can notice at this moment when you're breathing and you're sitting, what all you can notice. So you're sitting, you're breathing, you're listening. Maybe there is smell, maybe there is taste, maybe there's a sense of warmth, maybe there is heat or cold. You're observing. Life is moving, and you are here to watch. Watch. Now, at this time, gently ask yourself, what does anxiety feel like in my body right now? anxiety or anything that you're dealing with, what does that feel in your body right now? No story, no reason, no analysis, just sensation. Feel what anxiety feels in the body right now. So perhaps it could be a tightness in the chest or a heaviness in the stomach. It could be pressure in your throat, a fluttering sensation, a heat, numbness, or perhaps nothing obvious. Whatever is it, it is okay. For the next few moments, become a silent observer, as if you are a compassionate scientist, simply noticing, not fixing, not judging, just watching. If anxiety has a shape, what shape would it be? Does it have a texture? Would it feel rough, heavy, tight, moving? Just notice. No right answer here. At this point, bring in something very important. See if you can gently shift this sentence. Instead of saying, I am anxious, silently say, anxiety is being noticed. Again, it's not that I am anxious, but anxiety is being noticed or anxiety is happening. to my body. Shift this perspective. Feel the difference. One creates identity, the latter creates space. You are no longer trapped inside the storm. You are watching the weather. Anxiety may still be there, and that is okay. We are not fighting it. Fighting creates more fear. Instead, let us simply make room for it. Very gently, inwardly whisper, "You are allowed to be here." Not because you like anxiety, but because resistance often makes suffering louder. Try that. Shift your attention. Become aware of the one who is watching. Anxiety is being seen, but something in you is stable enough to notice it. Like the sky full of clouds, the sky is untouched, clouds come and go, anxiety comes and go, the sky remains. Rest here for a moment. You're not resting in the anxiety, but in the awareness of noticing anxiety. No effort, no struggle, just resting as a watcher. And gently know that you do not have to solve everything right now. You do not need to become peaceful immediately. Even watching is enough. Lord Shiva never says, force the mind. He says, become aware. And awareness itself begins the transformation. Just one more minute, friends. Just watch, rest as a watcher. Take one deep breath in, slowly breathe out. One more breath, deeper breath in, slowly breathe out. And one last deep breath in, slowly breathe out. Come back, friends. Feel your body again. Slowly feel the chair beneath you. Try to sense the room around you. Move your fingers. And very slowly, whenever you are ready, maybe before you open your eyes, you can rub your hands, make them warm. Gently put it on your eyes and come back. Come back slowly. Wonderful. That's beautiful, friends. Thank you today for joining, for taking your time to be here with me and with all friends learning this beautiful science of the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, right? So, one question I want to ask is just gently see, notice what feels different now. If any of you have experienced anything, I'm just giving you the permission to unmute and share. If anybody have felt a difference or anybody have anything to share, you can unmute and share. So friends, these techniques can be used as a doorway. Anything in life, everything in life can become a doorway to awakening if awareness is present, right? And the practice of the daily meditation practice, whatever way you are choosing, the daily practice that I need to sit and be with myself every day is how you are developing the practice of awareness, practice of being present, right? So anything that is there in your life becomes a doorway towards healing, towards enlightenment. Everything, nothing is like a block. Oh, I have this, so, I have a block, right? So, friends, we are also practicing this Vigyan Bhairava Tantra meditation every week. We have Tuesdays, and we all join together. We take one practice every day, every week, and we practice it. So you're most welcome to join the group, right? And yeah, and the book, I can also send you a PDF version of this book, The Secret. Um, uh, I think, yeah, by Osho, the where he talks about the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. right? So this is a good read book, even good to read that book. Right, friends? So any question, anything, you're always I'll be always happy to connect. You can connect with me on WhatsApp, send me a message on Facebook, wherever we are all connected there. Right. So if anybody does not have a sharing, we will end the session here. Okay. And so just with this saying, we will finish this. Vigyan Bhairava Tantra is the science of transforming ordinary human experience into the doorways to the extraordinary. Right. So this beautiful book that is available to us. Yeah, you you know, we need to take this. You know, this is a opportunity for us. It's there available for us, right? Make use of this opportunity, friends. Yeah, so Swarnalata Banerjee ji, okay. Yeah, so you know, if you're in my group, you're going to get the PDF. If you're not there, you can just WhatsApp me. I will send you the book, Swarnalata ji. Okay. And if you are interested to join our sessions, that's also, I have a small Facebook group where we all meet. I can send you the link and we can join. So thank you again so much, friends, for taking your time. It means a lot when, you know, we show up for ourselves, for each other. To support each other is also so important. Sometimes it's just not our story. It's about, you know, coming to like-minded sangha. Yeah, and we practice meditation. So thank you so much, and we meet Tuesday for the practice again, and possibly I'll come up with something more new. Yes. Yeah, Swarnalata ji, we are our own guru. So, yes, the guru is inside. So, with the practice, we can find, and we are all on the same boat, right? Doing our journey. And thank you so much for your presence being here. Okay, friends. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.